What's up, everybody?
Greetings, everyone. Teron, can you do me a favor?
Sure.
Can you grab my phone for me?
Sure.
Greetings, everybody. How y'all doing?
There you go.
Once again, thank you. LaLa's World Live up in this piece.
From Barcelona.
Live from Barcelona, Spain.
Yes.
So I decided to do something a little bit different this week. Well, first of all, this week has been straight up run and gun for me, like in a big way. I don't know how has your week of preparation been?
It was productive, very, very productive. A lot of exciting energy. So I think I got enough done before we were supposed to leave.
I had a ton of stuff to do. My to-do list is a mile long, and I'm so like excited, grateful, and I feel like really, really accomplished because I had basically one full day to get it done in, and it took a lot, but I got her done, man, just in time. So with all that being said, it really didn't leave me a whole lot of room for working on coordinating for tonight's live. So
it's all good.
Here we are.
We're gonna do this again.
So shout out to the members of the panel, my usual panel family, as it were. Shout out to QP, shout out to Medusa, shout out to Ali, shout out to Bry Guy, shout out to Sunny, shout out to Nicole Boo, check 1, check 2. Shout out to Natasha, Miss Music Rogers. Shout out to Dwayne and Tanisha Washington. Who am I missing? Am I missing anybody? I don't think I'm missing anybody. Shout out to Booth Vandross. You know, granted, you made one cameo, but you're always welcome back, from my friend. Shout out to Dirty Snares, who's a new addition to the family. Hey. He should probably be joining us on the next live panel next week. Crossing my fingers. I don't think I missed anybody. So shout out to everybody from the. Oh, shout out to I want to say her name is Kimberly Lawson. I'm sure I'm gonna see this. I'm sure I'm gonna find out in just a second, because most likely she's joining from the chat anyway. By the way, I'm looking at my phone because I can't see the chat while we're live. So y'all bear with us, sister. Okay, bear with me. So who I have here is Mr. Terron Austin.
What's up, y'all?
And together, he and I make up 2/3 of the Baduists, also known as Erykah Badu's background vocalist. Such an exciting, honorable position to be in, quite frankly.
Indeed.
We also want to say a quick shout out to the other third of the Baduists, Mr. Duran Bernard, who could not be with us on this live, but we look forward to hopefully being able to do this again soon and have him be part of the situation too. You want to talk about why he couldn't be with us tonight? Yes,
because he is preparing. Of course, we just walked off stage not very long ago at all. So this is post show for this evening. He is preparing to fly to Paris first, right?
Paris
or London first.
On the way to Paris.
On the way to Paris
to meet us there.
Right. So he's got to stop to make. He's got a show with the other members of our band, Netastella, also known as RC and the Grits. So if you guys are anywhere near, what's the name of the venue?
I did not get that information.
We're going to find out real quick. We're going to come back to that.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
Station identification.
If you guys are anywhere near that area, you can catch Duran Bernard featuring with the RC and the Grits band in support of their latest project that just came out as well. So definitely look that up. Available where fine music is sold digitally everywhere. Definitely look up Duran Bernard as well if you don't know who he is as well, because he's got a lot of music already out.
Yes.
And on the way out.
If you don't know who he is, climb off from under that rock you've been living in all your life.
Yes. But don't leave the live yet, okay? Because we're going to come back to that information and give you all the details on where they're going to be at before we link up with them again.
What he said.
So he's resting and preparing for that as well.
That part.
Okay.
Because they got a flight in like
very, very early.
An hour.
Yeah.
Or their lobby calls in an hour.
Or less.
That part. That's cute, whatever that is.
That's TLC.
Hey! Oh yeah, shout out to T-Boss. Well, shout out to TLC.
Yes.
Yeah, for the project you all did together. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, actually, that's cool that you mentioned that. I'm going to come back to that for just a second. It's RC and the Grits featuring Duran Bernard, concert and jam session. This is in Paris. Yes.
It's in Paris.
It's in Paris.
Oh, so they left early.
They left early to go to that. That is
concert and jam
session. We got a little playback going on.
Oopsie. Hi.
It's all good. It's all good. So follow RC and the Grits on IG for all the details. The location, ticket information. Follow Duran Bernard as well. That's DURANDBERNARR. Okay, so we got that out the way. We don't want to give out wrong information, so you guys know where to look for it. Okay, but shout out to T-Wise and Chili.
Yes.
And rest in peace, Left Eye.
Yes.
Who just celebrated her birthday a couple of days ago. I believe she would have been 48 this year. So God rest her soul. She still lives on with us. But the project that Duran and I got a chance to do last October in Los Angeles was T-Wise Unplugged. It's the annual fundraiser and charity concert for the Sickle Cell Anemia Foundation, which many of you probably already know that T-Wise has suffered all of her life, or most of her life, with the disease and the condition. But she's doing everything she can to bring awareness to the communities that it affects, which is primarily minorities. And it was an opportunity to really kind of take a trip down memory lane for the both of us, growing up as kids of the 90s, 80s babies, but kids of the 90s who were around when TLC were literally in their prime. You know, the first 3 album cycles from Ooh on the TLC Tip to Crazy Sexy Cool to Fan Mail, all the way down to 3D, the last self-titled project, even the solo albums and things like that from Left Eye. It was just an opportunity to really showcase and honor their legacy, their rich legacy of music, and we were handpicked for that. So I'm excited that now we've been introduced to their fan base. People know us now as well, beyond what we do with the Queen, Erykah Badu, as well. But we're starting to get some traction all over the place. So shout out to the girls, my big sisters. I love you all so much. Shout out to Nelly and Flo Rida. They're all on tour together right now.
Oh, wow.
So get your tickets and go check them out too. So it's gonna be a great show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Everything he said, this dude stays busy. I'm so proud of
Thank
you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm proud
Shout
of you
out
too.
to Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It's a moment. Shout out to the Queen, Erykah Badu, who had a magical show tonight. Oh my God.
Magical show tonight and magical
night,
DJ set last night too.
Yeah.
And
you talk about it?
Man, that joint was so crazy. Shout out to FKA Twigs, man. I just got a text that says she's on stage killing it as well.
Hey.
We had such an organic, chill vibe last night at the surprise DJ set. There were a few technical difficulties, but we did what we know to do best. Definitely. You know, you show up and you show out. So just thank you to everybody that came out and supported, everybody who's been reposting footage of that too. I just happen to be live streaming on both Facebook and IG, Instagram. So you'll see some clips and stuff from that because I had a little bit of a feature, which was totally dope.
Check my timeline on Facebook.
Yes,
I sure enough made sure I shared that.
Yeah, that was a great moment.
Yeah, it was.
But tonight, man, the first show of this European run, actually the first leg of this European run, Barcelona has shown us absolutely nothing but love since we've been here. And just to see that massive crowd out there, just in the moment, feeling the vibe, sharing with us, feeding off of great energy, exchanging great energy as well. It was magical. Like it always is, you know, and I'm grateful and blessed and thankful to be in this space and to be in this beautiful, beautiful country, a place I never thought I would come visit.
Isn't it wild?
Right. We're hitting places that are literally we're having first time experiences together. You know, which is really, really, really cool because you the memories associated with it now, you know, we'll be able to tell, you know, our seeds later on, and the people that we impart wisdom and knowledge into, like we remember when we did that for the first time, you know. So Barcelona, man. Thank you so much.
Yes.
This has been beautiful. The city's beautiful.
Can we talk about the sponsorship situation?
Oh yes. I wish we were wearing some of it. The swag suite was so unexpected. First of all, now let me tell you the backstory. Right. So yesterday when I arrived to kill time while you guys got here and got settled, did you tell them your flight was delayed and all that stuff? Yeah.
Thank you for bringing back the memory.
There were some crazy storms in the Midwest that actually started on the East Coast. I got out just before the storm really set in, and it moved so quickly to the Midwest that it actually delayed their connecting flight.
About 7 times.
Yeah. So while I was in the air thinking they were in the air as well, they were not. So praise God for the direct flight from New York City.
But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and slip in and say, too, praise God for the fact that we were not flying in the rain.
Right.
Okay.
But we flew in it just a little bit because I saw the thunder or heard the thunder and saw the lightning. That sounds like a song lyric from somewhere.
It does, actually.
Yeah. Somebody wrote that, I think. Yeah, somebody did that.
To be continued.
Anyway, so landed here safely.
Be on the lookout.
I decided to refresh and take a cat nap, and then I got bored. I got like antsy. I'm like, I need to get up and do something to see the city. So I decided to get up and go shopping. One of my favorite pastimes.
Hey.
And while I was at this mall called Glorious Mall, there was a store that caught my eye almost immediately called Pull and Bear. Am I saying that right? That's right.
I think so, yeah.
Pull and Bear. And I didn't go get to go in the store, but I took a picture of it to remind myself to go back into it because I'm like, this stuff looks really cool. This is different.
Right.
You know, this is fly. Like I can get some stuff to take home. Didn't know 24 hours later that the stage that we sound checked on and performed on tonight was sponsored by the same store. So then
was what?
Sponsored by the same store. Literally
sponsored by what?
Sponsored by what? Was written above us the entire time. So I noticed it during sound check. I'm like, yo, that's the spot I saw yesterday. So in between sound check and the show, we got a chance to go back over there.
Yes.
So we're peeping stuff out and everything, get back to the hotel, rest, come back to the venue. And one of the first stops after we got settled into our dressing room was the swag suite. So there's Ray-Bans on one side, crazy dope shades in every style you could think of that's not on the market yet. So these are like advanced, the deliveries of this type of, merchandise.
Y'all know how I feel about cat eyes.
Right. So we got some really cool stuff from them. And then right next door was, lo and behold, Pull and Bear. So she and I already knew who they were. So we got super excited. Like, oh, this is about to be crazy because we just saw some of this stuff in the store. So literally, it seems like the entire band rushed that room. And you talking about some fabulous, fresh, old school, tight to death type stuff. It was incredible. So we literally
I got a short set.
We walked out with bags.
I got a short set.
Bags of great merch.
Oh.
Yeah.
And a new backpack.
Yeah. New backpack, new tote bag.
No, I'm gonna have to show
fanny
this
pack.
I gotta grab this one really quick. Y'all excuse me. Talk to the people. Where y'all
okay. Listen, I don't even know what to say. Like it's so much stuff that happened in one day that you kind of like, really? But the swag suites were amazing. They're wonderful hostess and just the team of people that helped us behind the scenes, who had everything we needed that we didn't know we needed right there for us and available for us. We just had a blast. We took pictures, all that good stuff. So you'll see all of that if you're following us on Instagram. Don't forget to follow the Baduists page. That's at Baduists. This is one of the dope fanny pack vests.
It's a non-fanny pack. Fanny pack?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
It's like
if this ain't the coolest
the
thing
airline.
ever.
What do you call them? people that direct the planes in.
The safety vest.
Yeah, it's so dope. They've got like reflectors and stuff all over it. Yeah. When I tell you the looks are amazing, so we'll probably see some of this stuff during the tour while we're in Europe for the next a week and a half, 2 weeks, I think it is, because it's not even June yet. So yeah, like I said, we got some really, really cool stuff. Can't wait to show you guys. So, comment, let us know what you like if you see it on us in future posts.
Yeah, because we're gonna post. We took quite a few pictures.
We had
at least the tops, as it were,
full-fledged photo shoot on the grounds in the VIP artist swag suite. It was a whole scene, like literally just the two of us. It was a whole scene. You would have thought this was like, Complex magazine or something. It went down.
I mean,
it went down in the dressing room, out in the vestibule area, by the pool, in the middle of this lounge,
red light,
area.
Blue
it
light,
was amazing.
1, 2, 3 or whatever.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, y'all will see that very, very soon.
Yeah, so be on the lookout.
Yeah.
So we were talking earlier about frequently asked questions, FAQs.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. That we get online and in person.
First of all, I want to say this. So this situation is totally impromptu. It was a decision I made. Kind of the last
impromptu.
minute.
You told me about it.
It in a way, because usually when I do these, I'll at least have like a day lead in where I give it with my panel and we kind of talk about what we want to discuss for the day and all of that. But I had so little preparation.
Yeah,
and
then we were traveling.
When we chatted about it, like literally the light bulb just hit me like right when I mentioned it to you.
Okay.
So that's how.
Got it.
When inspiration strikes, right?
Absolutely.
And so,
flow in the moment.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? This makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
This is an opportunity, first of all, to share content while we're out on the road. It's the first leg of a tour that we're going to be on in Europe. Mm-hmm. And it's a chance for us to interact, directly with with the people who are following us on all these social media platforms, and
let you see what gig life and tour life is all about.
It's all about,
because many of you are very, very interested.
Mm-hmm.
You let us know quite often.
On the subject of FAQs, right?
This is true.
That part.
Yeah.
So the intent, my intent was for us to have people, joining us via the chat, asking us questions to answer for you all live. But
got it.
I think the word just kind of got out last minute, and so.
But we'll do it again.
We got
do it again.
Definitely another few days.
Yeah.
Here.
And of course, on multiple platforms too. So make sure you are following all of us individually.
Yes.
On Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, everywhere else, Snapchat. Whatever social media platforms you frequent and you use.
Follow them on Snapchat.
We pretty much are all there.
Facebook and Twitter and Instagram is plenty for me.
It's cool. Some of them you gotta sync.
It's enough to keep me busy.
Once and everything is hit at once.
Exactly.
I'm that type because I like to unplug quite a few times too. But
yes,
that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, back to the FAQs. There's one that I'm noticing is really, really a common question.
Take the drink real quickly.
So actually, there's more than one. There's two that I think are really, really more prevalent than anything. What is Erykah Badu really like? How often do we rehearse? And there was a third one we said too.
Oh, you know what? One I didn't mention earlier was people would ask me, how did I get?
Yeah, how did you get started?
With Badu?
Did you have to audition?
What was my audition like?
Yeah.
That part.
And I guess as obviously each answer to the question would vary based on who you're talking to.
Absolutely true.
And then another thing too, I've always wanted to make sure we said this on any of our platforms, because a lot of people are always asking us questions in DMs, or they'll post or ask a question on one of our posts, and they don't know exactly who they're talking to.
Right.
So we all have access to the Baduists page on Instagram. Again, that's at Baduists, Baduists. If you see a blue heart, that is moi. It's my favorite color is blue. Aww. If you see a purple heart, that is Team LaLa.
Hi there. Purple, or what's my other one? Gray, I think it is.
Sometimes it's gray.
Yeah.
Because of the compatibility between devices. And then if you see a yellow heart, it's Durant. And we try, I think we got to get a little bit better in making sure we do that. But I always make sure if it's a blanket statement, you know, if somebody says like, I love you guys, or y'all are so fly, or something like that, or great show tonight, I'll make sure all three hearts are represented. But specifically blue, purple, and or gray, and yellow are the main hearts that you'll see, so you know who exactly you're talking to. From within us, because we are the only three that have access to that page.
Yes.
So we try to update it, you know, as much as we can together.
So y'all talk to us, not somebody.
So you're talking directly to the Baduists at any given moment, and most of the time, if it's something major going on or a real question that we all need to be answering or chime in on, you know, I'll make sure that we all, you know, hey, did you see this? You know, we got to jump in on this or whatever. But those specific questions.
I gotta take a moment. I'm gonna interject really quickly to give this dude credit, because quite frankly, between the three of us, this guy's the most active in the Baduist group, and so I want to thank you.
Wow.
I want to thank you for keeping us visible.
Wow.
And things of that nature. I mean, you know, listen, we're all busy people. We all are.
That's true.
And so you like, I learn a lot from these guys. I do. I try to offer some things in exchange as well that, you know, that they can learn.
You hold it down.
I do what I can, but I learn a lot from
you do what you got to do, because there's a reason why we have such a massive following already. I'm going to double check something real quick while I'm mentioning this, because I think we are sitting at very, very close to 5,000 followers. As it's updated. Yes. 4,858 followers.
And so if you're not one of them, you know what to do.
Yeah,
right?
You know, hit that follow button. Hit it.
Because it's free.
Right. It don't hurt to support, you know.
Just like it don't hurt to click subscribe. It don't hurt to share a video.
There you go.
It don't hurt to click the bell so that you can know when LaLa's World Live is happening again. It don't cost you
nothing.
Zero.
Nothing. But a second. Done.
Heard the guy.
Done. So yes. So definitely follow us for more opportunities like this, you know, to get to know us personally as well.
Sometimes we have ticket giveaways.
Yes. Speaking of, we haven't decided which city yet for the European leg, which one we're going to do that, because we're, you know, in negotiations.
You know what? Maybe we should let them decide.
Well, see, that might be hard because we don't know what's happening in every single city yet.
That part.
So this is why some things are a surprise. Some things, they may appear to be last minute, but they're technically not. We're just waiting on approvals and confirmations and logistics, because we never want to put something out there that we're not ready to fully commit to.
That's true.
But we tried it, and it was quite successful.
It absolutely
for
was.
the Mother's Day weekend show in Brooklyn. So shout out to all three of our winners who we literally walked out during the middle of the show, during hers set right before we went on. And we actually ended up missing
capital
most
H
of her
period,
set.
capital E period, capital R period. Hers.
Yes. And as Duran affectionately calls her, she. We walked out during her set and handed 3 people an all-access ticket to the after party. But the catch was you had to have a ticket to the Barclays Center show in Brooklyn. You had to be in your seat.
In your seat.
So it was strategic. You couldn't just be in the building. You couldn't just send us a copy of your ticket stub to let us know where you were seated. You had to be in your seat. So that meant the 3 of us were running around like 3 wild banshees through the Barclays Center, looking for people in their seats.
Up and downstairs,
in heels.
Touch your neighbor.
Wait, did you have on heels that night?
I did.
You had on heels that night? Okay, I did too. So we were way up in like the loge level. We were way up in the rafters, which was really cool because we don't get to see the stage and what it looks like from.
By the way, I didn't get
to
see the stage from up there anyway.
Yeah, she didn't go. She didn't go.
I went.
You went to a certain level,
them,
but I was the one that climbed all the way up to, like, it was steep. It was steep. If anybody's ever been to the Barclays Center, anything up above the 100 level, which I believe is like, I think that's the lowest level, then the one up above that. Those steps
looked like they were straight down.
Steep.
No.
Yes, and I had to climb up to find somebody and then walk her back down just so we could take a group picture.
Because who wasn't going up there?
Yeah, so I was the adventurous one that night. Literally running around, sweating out my.
I was in heels. I don't. Can I tell you? So I have a special brand of acrophobia. You know what acrophobia is, right?
Yes.
So acrophobia is supposed to be a fear of heights, of fear of height.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a fear of heights. You've seen me go. I've gone on roller coasters, many roller coasters.
We have.
I don't have a fear of heights. I have a fear of falling.
Yes. Yeah. It's the act itself. You know.
I have a fear of falling.
Tumbling.
Without protection.
But hey, we do what we have to do for the love of our supporters.
Absolutely true.
You know, new and old. I don't even think it's been a full year since we started the Baduists page. Yeah, it's maybe been about 6-7 months.
That's crazy.
I think somewhere around there. It was right before Soul Train Awards in November.
Wow, was it?
Yeah, I want to say it was like late September, early October we started.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So we're coming up on a year, we'll say.
Yeah.
But that was a great moment, and we can't wait to do it again. Especially, you know, a lot of the fans that we don't get to see and interact with overseas as much as we would like to. This is just a moment for us to give back and say thank you for supporting us. Thank you, of course, for supporting the Queen, Erykah Badu.
Absolutely.
And all of our individual endeavors, because a lot of us, we're finding out you actually pay attention and you know us. You know, little things about us. You know what we like, you know what we don't like. We've received some incredible gifts from people.
Yes. Shout out to Miss Karen.
Yes, Miss Karen that holds us down.
Also, the special K 7509.
Yes.
I affectionately say it's
people that actually travel from city to city. Like, and I respect that because I used to be that dude.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, I was that dude that was at almost every single show. You know, from TLC to LaLa to even Badu. You know, for years I would drive from Cincinnati to Detroit, Cincinnati to Chicago, any chance I got. You know, so I understand what that is. To really, really love somebody and just be a fan.
What was the last time you drove from what city to what was it?
That was when I actually joined.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was Atlanta.
The last time you drove from city to.
The last time I drove to a Badu show, I was actually in the show. That's crazy. I just thought about that. The last time I drove to a show, I was in the show. When I finished driving to the show, was from Atlanta to Portsmouth, Virginia. That was my first show. August 2015. Yep. August 2015. And the show before that, ironically, was a month before that in Chicago at the Taste of Chicago.
Wow.
Yep.
And that's all. The Taste of Chicago is always a really good time.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I had been to for about not almost 10 years. What is that? 2015 to 2008. Yeah, that's about 7 years.
Look at that.
Yeah, for about 7 years, I was like at least 4 or 5 Badu shows out of the year. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. Whether I was working as like a stagehand through, you know, my previous jobs, networking, or whether I flat out bought a ticket. And I'd say a good 80% of those was I flat out bought a ticket, got on a mega bus, or drove to the city.
Mega bus, homie.
Yeah.
Come on, dedication.
I'm deep in this thing, okay?
You're not new to this.
Right.
Stay true to this.
Right. That's why I was prepared when she said drive. When the option was to get to Portsmouth, Virginia, and the only thing I could do was drive. So
that part.
You'll hear that full story much later.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, because we'll have to talk about that in detail.
Yeah,
I have to document that.
Well, we ain't got to be in bed in like 30 minutes or something.
Right.
So here, the current time is
4:34 a.m.
So it's 9:34.
We don't look sleepy, do we?
Not remotely. Mm-hmm. We're wired.
Yes.
No.
This is slap happy. Wow.
Yes. Yeah, this is delirium we're talking right now.
We're going to get off of here before we get too goofy.
But so that's part of the reason why, because usually I start at 9:30 Central Standard Time. So
it's 9:30 there now?
It's 9:34
there. 9:34 there? Okay, cool.
So
it's right there.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, my computer never changed time. It's okay. It's all good. We're talking to you from my computer.
Okay, cool.
So and I'm looking at the chat from my phone, as it were. Operation Make It Enough. That's how it goes down. Hey. So about the frequently asked questions, you want to just kind of leapfrog it?
Yeah.
So the first one was what again?
What is Queen Erykah Badu really like?
You want to take that one?
Well, we both have different answers.
True story.
I usually say she's everything you think she is, and then some.
And then some. That's the best answer you could give.
Yeah.
And I actually echo that.
Yeah. And I leave that to people's imagination because everyone comes into the knowledge of Badu at different angles. You know, whether it's through the music, whether it's her movies, whether it's social media. You kind of easily develop your own perception of someone, especially someone of her status and stature in the music business and in the industry, and in the genre. We had this conversation of neo soul and what that meant at one period. And I think it's interesting to hear how people, they'll ask us that question, but then they'll also interject what they think of her.
That's true.
And then we either have the option of confirming, agreeing, or say, hey, that's not what she's like, But I think it's great it's interesting to hear people, tell us and share how they feel.
Yeah.
But I think the beauty in that is she's literally everything you think she is, and then some.
I heard her make a statement once in the conversation we had, and I think I'm okay to share this. Okay. Which was that she's everybody's Erykah Badu. That sums it up.
Yeah.
And there's a biblical character, I think it's Paul, that said that, or basically kind of advised us to be everything to everybody. Be all things to all men.
Yep.
And so the fact that she takes that position, I think is an interesting one in some ways.
Right.
And a noble one in other ways. I'll say it that way.
Which is why, again, even within the band, we all have different, but unique, special relationships with her.
Yeah.
Again, based on your tenure, how long you've been with her, how long you've been following, and as we move and ebb and flow amongst one another, the cultivation of relationships, she becomes what you need.
True story.
And that's really the beauty of it. So yeah, that's kind of our answer to that in a nutshell.
Very, very great statement.
Yeah.
Very accurate.
Yeah.
I was thinking of South Africa.
Have you shared that?
I have not.
Okay, we'll save that. We'll take that for now.
Maybe the conversation we have about your in-depth things.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
We'll have a story time Q&A next time. How about that?
Cool.
Stay tuned, good people.
Cool.
Next question is, how often do we rehearse?
How often do we rehearse? Now, this is a tough one. Again, I'll start. I normally say we use every night as a rehearsal. And that means the next show, because no two shows are ever the same, the next show is going to top the one prior or the one previous. I think, too, that's important to keep in mind because, there are so many different elements that go into what becomes the show that people see. A lot of you never see beyond, of course, what we're shared or what we're allowed to share in the preparation for show day and getting from city to city. A lot of times you guys don't see what happens, what business is taken care of, what logistics, what things are moving around. It's a very, very well-oiled machine. But of course, things do happen, so, if there was a designated rehearsal time, we may not get all the time we need, for whatever reason.
Right.
But I always say that no two shows are ever the same. And our next show is going to be better than the last show you've seen. And I can even say that from being on both sides of it, now being a part of the show as well as being an attendee of shows for so many years back to back, from so many different album cycles, so many different eras as well. I've never seen a show and been disappointed. I've never seen a show and not gotten what I needed in that moment. I've never seen a show where I'm like, oh, that's predictable. I know what's coming next.
Right.
You know, and even now being a part of the show too, we have to stay on our P's and Q's. We have to stay rehearsed for ourselves, even if everybody doesn't come together for a full rehearsal. I'm constantly listening and taking notes and watching clips and going back and saying, okay, how can
you do that too?
I do all the time. It's a self-critique. It's a self-awareness type thing. And even something special happened tonight too that made me really, I guess, take a mental note. We were having a discussion with our graphics designer, the things that happen visually on stage beyond just us moving around and of course Badu moving around. But on the projection screens, we normally don't get to see what's happening behind us. Because, of course, you don't want to be looking like this.
So much.
Like, what's going on up there? Like, totally not professional.
Right.
So we were having a conversation before tonight's show over dinner. And I was like, yo, it'd be great to be able to see that one day. And no sooner did I speak that, because we had no idea this was going to happen, we get on stage tonight, and the opposite stage that's facing us is literally playing us in real time. So I was able to sneak a few times and like, okay, when the cameras are not on us, we can watch what's happening. So we were a part of the show and witnessing the show at the same time, which I thought was really dope. Really dope. 2 huge jumbo LED screens. And it was clear. It was beautiful to finally see that in that manner. But then also appreciate that level of artistry and creativity that goes into the show. Because again, that's something that's for you all. We don't see that. You know, our backs are turned to that. So we can feel it, because sometimes it's like super hot if we're close to it. And we know it's bright and it's lit up and everything.
But it's an awesome feeling.
Yeah, we don't know what's happening because we can't physically turn around and watch the show or watch the light show and the screen and everything. So that was pretty dope. So even that was unrehearsed. We had no idea that was going to happen. And there's no way to rehearse, for that. We just know it's going on. But it's dope that it's like, okay, cool. We actually got to get a glimpse of what people see. That's what's happening in that moment. Yeah, okay. Cool. Or that's what's happening in that transition.
That's what they do for that part of the song. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And then there was some new things. So shout out to Gavin, who's in charge of all of that. His artistic eye, his artistic
genius. Sensibility is just
he's genius, man.
Otherworldly.
Yeah, he's genius.
Accomplished pianist.
Yes,
he's
a little bit of everything, like all of us.
A master composer, decomposer, recomposer guy. Like, true story. So shout out to Gavin for being an amazing alien.
Yeah, he's dope.
A beautiful and amazing extraterrestrial being here with us. Yeah. Thank you.
We're lucky to have him.
Absolutely true.
Really lucky to have him.
My answer is a little bit shorter. It's basically that regarding rehearsal, which is that the way I see it, the way Badu seems to approach performing is really organic. And so when you're talking about organic, you're talking about what feels good in the moment,
right?
And so,
no boundaries.
Do we have set lists? Yes, we do. Right? Does she go by them? What percentage of time does she go by them? Probably 5%.
And that's literally tossing a coin up in there.
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, and that's one of the things I've always appreciated about her. I don't know if she did this on purpose during the live recording or not. The room where she was like, I want to do that again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I want to do this song. Yeah. Right?
And then also made the conscious choice to keep that and not edit that out.
That part.
Because that's another brilliant move. And I think that's something that speaks to her
trust in herself.
Her trust in herself, but also her trust in being able to command that space, that freedom. That's owning your thing, or owning who you are and what you
like
bring to the table. Exactly. Yeah. You know, because it easily could have been, you know, well, I don't want to do that yet, but let's cut that out and seamlessly transition into where we wanted to go, or where we ended up going.
Absolutely.
You know, and there's even a lot of moments like that sometimes in the show where it's, you know, it's no, stop, because I'm feeling something right here, and I gotta do this now. It's like I gotta get it out. You know, that happened tonight. That happens tonight, but it's a beautiful thing because it literally. Sometimes I watch people in the audience and they're so caught up in, it's almost like they're in a trance almost. So it's an abrupt departure from what you thought was getting ready to happen, or what you might have been expecting or anticipating. And then it's like, no, we're going to make a hard left turn. We're going to do this, and you're going to love this even more. You know, so, and again, that keeps us like, okay, waiting with bated breath, like, okay, what's next? Of our feet. What's next? And prepared, and just armed and ready to go and flow and follow and support.
Shout out to DC. Derek Clark, thank you for joining us tonight.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, Derek, do you have any questions for us on this here early morning?
Did we have another
in Barcelona?
Another question too?
We did. We have at least 2 more.
I think. Okay, cool.
But yeah, so she's very organic approach to performing. And so, I mean, when you talk about organic, I mean, that organic performance really requires little to no rehearsal time.
But again, on the same token, it requires little to no rehearsal time, but you still
focus.
Have to be rehearsed for yourself.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And now, how often do we rehearse as the Baduists?
I'd say every chance we get.
Every freaking chance we get. Because there's always something that can stand to be tightened up.
Whenever we are together, we're either always, you know, reflecting on something that we had just done, or coming up with ideas on how to do something else, you know, fun and exciting. She gets on us all the time because Duran and I like to make up the choreography. But
it's 2 to 1. What you want me to do?
And like normally I'll come up with an idea.
What I'm not gonna be is out of step. What I'm not gonna be is the one not doing what the other 2 of us. What I'm not gonna be.
Yeah. And that's funny. That's funny. But yeah.
So she can fuss and I'll just be like, y'all heard it. You heard it, didn't you?
We usually just working on out. You know, we'll do something, come up with something on the spot, and then it works. I feel that. I'm country too. I'm trying to keep that from coming out.
So, what was your audition phase like?
That's such a loaded question, because I don't really know if it was an audition.
That part.
Like I said before, the last show that I drove to, I was actually in the show. I got called in the airport that basically said, if you can make it from where you are to Portsmouth, Virginia, you're on stage tonight. And I'm going to give you the short version. I turned what should have been a 9-hour drive because I had missed all my other flights or opportunities for flights. They were either oversold. Yeah, they were all oversold. That's what it wasn't because I missed them. I was waiting for like 3 or 4 flights, and there was one last one that was going to get me there by sound check. And I couldn't get on the flight, so I had to drive it. So I'm pushing like 110 miles per hour up straight up 95 to get from the deep south to East Coast. And, you know, thankfully I knew where I was going. And thankfully Duran had clothes that I could wear to the show because my luggage was on its way to New York.
And so the flight you were supposed to catch.
The original flight I was supposed to catch. My gosh. And so I made it within maybe 15, 20 minutes of the show. And not 15 minutes of the show start time, 15 minutes before we were supposed to go on. I arrived at the beginning of prayer. Had just enough time to change clothes, drink some tea, pray, and walk to the stage. That's how quickly that happened. Now, is that an audition? A traditional audition? Probably not
so much.
But I always like to say preparation met opportunity that evening. Like I mentioned before, the show prior to that was the Taste of Chicago show. I had a bootleg version of that show. and I listened to that the entire drive. So I knew what my part would be if I was asked to sing any other part. I did. I did. I'm going to confess and say that I had a bootleg version that I recorded of the show from the audience. That I haven't shared. It's not available for public consumption. It literally was for me, and divinely was for me because I had something to go off of in the middle of that particular tour.
That's awesome.
That reminded me, okay, this is what you need to be able to do if the opportunity ever presents itself. 30 days later, the opportunity did present itself. And so I was ready. I caught every curveball she threw at me that night. Even had a solo during that first weekend of shows. And that was hilarious because these are things you don't think you're going to get to do on your first shot at the gig. You know, so I'm grateful that I was ready. And thank God she kept me.
4 years now.
Yes. 4 years
That's
strong. Coming up on 5.
Yes.
Coming up on 5. Very, very soon.
That's all right.
So yeah, I don't. Again, is that an audition? I don't know. You tell me. Is that an audition?
Mine is a long story, kind of. The short answer: when people ask me how my audition was, I jokingly but seriously say, about 10 years.
Yeah.
And I'll leave that open to interpretation. I'll save the details for a story time, a personal story time.
Right. Because there's layers to both of our stories.
Gosh, right?
Yeah, more than we have time to share tonight.
That part.
Yeah.
That part. What was the other question?
What is Badu like? How often do you rehearse? What was your audition? Did we forget what the last one was?
There was a fourth one.
There was a fourth one. Was it how did you get started?
Maybe that's it.
Okay. How did we get started? But that's a loaded question too. How did we get started with Badu, or how did we get started as a background vocalist or as a musician? Period.
Yeah.
Mine is simple. Church.
Well, in that case,
started in the church, born and raised in the church.
On one level, mine is as simple as his. On the other level is, the funny thing is, I actually, I wanted to be a real life Claire Huxtable, and all throughout school, from the time I was about 8 or 9 years old until the middle of my senior year in high school, I was planning on majoring in pre-law.
I didn't know that. Pre-law? I didn't know that.
That was my plan. And
see, I wanted to go into entertainment law.
You see what I'm saying?
I didn't know that.
But yeah, so I I wound up getting a full ride scholarship to the initial college that I wound up going to on music. And I had a talk with, I began to kind of have misgivings about all the freaking school I was setting myself up for with law. And so I was talking with my aunt, who also at the time was one of my favorite singers live. She's now no longer with us. She died 2 days before 9/11 happened, interestingly. And so, but I had a talk with her, and she said, first of all, you got a full ride scholarship for music. Secondly, you're great at it. Why don't you pursue music?
And the light bulb.
And here's the interesting thing.
Didn't it?
That's not usually the conversation adults have with their college bound.
Right.
Well,
see, normally the questions or the line of questioning and conversation becomes, is music a real job? How are you going to support yourself? How are you going to make money off of that? Is that going to pay the bills? And then it's even worse coming from the church sometimes, because then it's like, okay, well, you're not singing gospel.
That's the amazing thing. Because listen, you'd be hard pressed to find somebody who could tell you the truth about what thus saith the Lord than her.
Right.
I'm gonna be shout out to Aunt Barbara, rest in power.
Yes.
As it were.
Yes.
But yeah, so she coming from her again, she was one of my favorite singers. And for her to tell me, you're great at this. Why don't you just do this? I'm like,
She gave you that
Well,
push
I guess I
and that
should.
blessing to
Yeah.
pursue that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's like almost like I mean, it was always a dream of mine anyway. And her approaching it from that angle kind of gave me the, I guess maybe the impetus to think that, okay, maybe I do have a shot at it. Maybe I could try this for real.
Question, you just said something.
Maybe I could.
You said it's always been a dream of yours. What is your earliest memory of dreaming about being on stage?
Tracy Spencer. Countess Vaughn. Actually, in reverse order, because Countess, I think, was on Star Search before Tracy Spencer came out. Stacey Lattisaw preceded both of them.
Yes, yes.
Knowing that they were young when they got their big break. And knowing that, quite frankly, knowing that I was just as capable as they were. You know, let me know that it could be possible for me. The older I got, however, the more I kind of started looking at things from different perspectives. And I'm someone, believe it or not, YouTube channel and all, social media and all, I'm still someone who really, really values her privacy. And so my dreams of stardom and of, you know, bright lights and big cities and big stages kind of transitioned from me wanting to be center stage so much. I'm gonna amend that. From me wanting to be the next big.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
To me wanting to be a background vocalist for the next big. You know? And the way I see it, heck, first of all, I'm doing the same show, on the same stage, I'm on the same audience. Granted, I may not be making the same money. However, I get the same opportunity to fulfill my dream the way I dream it.
Right.
You know, and meanwhile, you know, in our case, Erykah Badu is the star. Erykah Badu has the interviews. Erykah Badu has the appearances. Erykah Badu has the, you know, the people want to know what color socks she wears, what kind of toothpaste she uses, who she kissed 5 minutes ago, all the accolades and all the you know what I'm saying? Please enjoy that, please.
But also keep in mind that's not all there is to this.
I'm listening.
Yeah, I remind people about that because they get caught up in headlines.
Yeah,
and the reason why I'm shifting there is because I'm a journalist by vocation.
Right.
So I've also been on the other side of this where I've had to literally report on and review shows and things like that and interview artists, and you know, having that connection and that close proximity to the entertainment industry is also very it's very unique. You know, coming from a place where you're a fan of an artist, you're a supporter of an artist, but you also have to tell the truth about the artist, you know, in whatever capacity that may present itself, whether that's an interview, a one-on-one situation, or a review of a show, or a review of an album, a review of a performance, whatever. So it's my close proximity with that, you know, the dream, you know, circling back around to what you first said, the dream has manifested and presented itself. I think I've seen visions of all of this before.
Same here.
You know, and whether it's myself being on stage, supporting someone else, whether it's being around this environment, my dream has always been to be a part of the entertainment business, and not just be industry, you know, but also have something to contribute. You know, I've always admired and revered artists like Erykah Badu. And I remember first being introduced to her and knowing that this was something different, this was something special, and this was something necessary. You know, so the dream has definitely, it's evolved, you know, it's morphed, it's reshaped, and now it's here. It's a dream realized, you know, for both of us. Absolutely. You know, in every sense of the word.
I was driving at something, and I want to clarify.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean
no, you're good. You're good. Because I kind of got caught in and you pulled me out of it, so thank you for that. But in essence, what I mean by the whole, pursuit of stardom versus, me kind of changing my focus to I guess preferring to be near the limelight, but not necessarily in it. First of all, I do still have limelight pursuits, but just in a different capacity. I'll say it that way. First of all, I've got projects of my own that I'm working on and all that stuff to heretofore coming.
And make sure y'all are tuned in every step of the way.
Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
However, in reference to the big international stars and whatnot, the thing is, it's a great accomplishment. It's a great achievement. It's a great opportunity to be in that position. It's also a great responsibility, or it comes with a lot of responsibility, and it comes with a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? It's a blessing and a burden, I would think, in a way, because, like I said, I value my privacy so much, However, people like Erykah Badu, people like Beyonce, people like Whitney Houston, rest in power. People like Aretha Franklin, rest in power. People like Patti LaBelle, I love you, oh my God. Tina Turner, I love you too, oh my God.
Chaka Khan,
oh my God, right? These people have first of all allowed themselves to pursue a life track, if you will, that gives us an opportunity to watch them live out loud, and I've carried this thought for a while, which is that I think that we give celebrities probably the wrong title. Maybe.
I hear you.
And then also, I think we use, if you will, our celebrities unwisely.
We don't value them enough.
I agreed. It's really easy. It's really easy to throw stones at somebody else's house, right?
Yeah.
Really easy. But it's really hard work to, instead of choosing to point and look for ways to ridicule or ways to criticize. It's a little bit harder to look at what somebody else is going through and deciding to make it a lesson to self, or note to self instead. And especially since being allowed to be invited to be part of the world that I'm in now, I've really gotten intentional about choosing that path when it comes to how I look at people who who everybody knows and loves, and some love to hate. Yeah. So that's my 2 cents. Thank y'all for listening. I want to make sure I clarified that.
No, that was good. That was from the heart.
Absolutely.
So people need to hear that. So yeah.
Was there anything else you wanted to say in closing?
Well, since the first, let me ask this: how do you feel now that the first show of the year being run?
Great.
Good.
Great. I think Badu has set a seriously magical tone for this tour.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing how this whole situation is going to evolve
and how it intensifies, because I feel like it's upward bound from here.
She did some new stuff tonight, y'all. I'm just saying.
We've got some.
I'm
funny moments.
I will go off then.
Yeah, some really funny and inspiring moments where we're like, okay, yeah, and we right there with her, So
did it.
I guess for everybody that's watching or will watch, because they'll watch the playback and stuff like that. If we're in a city near you, come see us.
Come see us.
If the show ain't sold out, get you a ticket.
Because they tend to be.
Yes, they do. And long before we know.
22 years later?
Yeah.
Still selling out.
Long before we know that it is sold out. A lot of times we will get somewhere and think and don't hear about it until like, oh yeah, the show is sold out. Or we'll look out there like, that's a sold out crowd. We know what that looks like. Yeah, so
it's so awesome to see lines wrapped around, or long lines outside of the buildings waiting to see her.
And it's crazy that you just said it too. Part of the dream aspect, I always saw thousands and thousands and thousands of people and never knew in these dreams what that actually meant. But I'm reminded of, two things. Your gift will make room for itself.
For you. Yep.
And your gift will also bring you before kings and queens.
Yep. True story.
Take that figuratively and literally, and biblically as well. There are so many great people amongst us and great people watching us, near and far, places we probably haven't even been yet. But it's beautiful to see the faces of the people in the crowds. It's beautiful to see, other celebrities, other superstars come to us after a show or before a show, like, yo, we can't wait to see you guys. Even on the way in.
Or, hey, y'all did a great job. Oh, my God.
Even on the way into the hotel tonight, some of Janelle Monáe's camp, it was arriving. I was like, yo, we had to stop. Those are our friends. They wanted to, salute us and congratulate us on a great show. And we did the same in return for them, because unfortunately we're going to miss Janelle Monáe tomorrow. And shout out to her. Shout out to Solange and her camp. Everybody that's coming in, and shout out to Cardi B, who also had to cancel because she's not going to be able to make it tomorrow. But yo, again, it's because I can go on all night like that. But what I was saying is the fact that we are before so many great people from so many different lifestyles and races, color, and creed. We transcend all of that in those moments that we are on stage, those moments that are created on stage, and the moments even after the show. Sometimes that's more fulfilling than even in that moment, up there performing, because yes, it is still a job, and we're blessed and to be afforded the opportunity to do it. But the gratification also comes when somebody shares that, a specific moment or a specific interaction with one of us has changed their life, or we've left an indelible imprint on their life. Those are the things that I cherish the most. And before I get all sappy and mushy and stuff, I just want to say thank you, LaLa, for inviting me to be a part of your broadcast.
Well, thank you for being willing to stay up late and do it.
Anytime. And
this is my brother.
Yes, indeed.
My brother.
Thank you to everybody. I love you too. Thank you to everybody that's watching, and that continues to love on us and support us
and
all over the globe. We definitely appreciate it, and we send you love back. All that good stuff. Y'all take care of yourselves. Take care of each other.
And until next time, this is LaLa signing off with Terron for LaLa's World Live. You can catch me and the people every Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I started
Appointment set.
Early. Appointment set. I started this one early because it's late here.
Tell somebody else to subscribe.
Please click like. Please, like for the video. Please click subscribe for the channel. Please click the bell twice to make sure you got it. Right? Because
turn your notifications on.
When you click the bell, what happens is every time we go live, or every time I post something, you'll get to find out about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not, right? So that we can stay in touch. Why not be in the know? Because we're special. You special. Let's be special together.
Right. And all this specialness.
All this specialness. I'll wind it back. Okay, with your special self.
Now, what time we gotta be up?
In a couple of hours. On that note, see y'all next Thursday, and actually some new uploads will be coming pretty soon. I'm gonna get back in my editing game back on to see what I can see.
Awesome.
Okay. Anyway, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, talk to you soon.
Ta-ta.
Bye.